But let's move on. Let's talk number one seed Miami Heat. They could be the finals favorite. They simply just pull talent out of guys. I mean, what I love the most about this team is each year someone new seems to emerge. You know, it was Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero before. This year, Caleb Martin is looking really nice. Max Strus is looking really nice. Obviously, Tyler Hero bounced back in the best way this year. He's locked for sixth man of the year. And they had a guy who, if he played enough games, could have been defensive player of the year too in Bam Adebayo. So top to bottom, this is a really talented roster. And they're about to face likely the Sixers, unless the Sixers end up choking the series. In that case, they would face the Raptors. Either way, I would take the Heat in against either of those opponents. So I believe they'll probably make it to at least the Eastern Conference Finals. So
yeah, I'm betting on seeing the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not convinced who's going to make it out of the Bucks and Celtics, especially with Chris Middleton most likely missing the whole series. I mean, the Heat have been great. Yeah, like you said, they find Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the NBA. He is so great for developing players like Max Strus, Caleb Martin. They've been great. I mean, even take what he did with Oladipo off all the injuries, been thrown around. He's at the 8 games he played at the end of the season, even some of the minutes he's played in the playoffs, he's looking like certainly he'll never return to what he was, but he's looking like a great rotational player, a nice vet to have on the team. He certainly doesn't look like a negative on the floor anymore. But this Heat team, I think it's kind of crazy to see them in the first seed because they've had a lot of injury issues. I mean, Butler was out for 23 games, Bam out for 22 games, Lowry 19 games, and obviously Oladipo missed 74 games. So they've missed one of their 3 stars just about the entire season. They've been fully healthy very minimal time.
I think it was just, a matter of them climbing to the top of the shit mountain that is the East, because none of the teams there finished with above 60 wins. If there was a phenomenal team in the East, they would have finished above 60 wins, but none of them did. So king of the shit mountain is what we'll call the Miami Heat.
Oh yeah. So, but if we want to look at some of their strengths, their definite weakness is their playmaking or star offensive potential. So I know Jimmy is great, Kyle Lowry's great, but they're getting older. Both of them are getting older, and Jimmy last finals put on a great show, did everything he could offensively. However, they're 12th in offense. They're just a very smart team. They're first in 3-point percentage, and I think they're 14th in attempts. So they do everything. They just do the right things. It's just if it comes down to, they're not an ISO team, certainly not. Which, does that limit them? Does that not? I mean, we'll see. I guess it depends on the team. I think if they're facing individual defenders, there's some on the Bucks that you can certainly target and go at. But the Bucks have Giannis and best help defender in the league, so that we'll see how that shakes up. The Celtics, I said it before, the Celtics versus Heat could be the most interesting playoff matchup we have in this year. I'm rooting for the Bucks, but I honestly can't. I think that would be the most exciting playoff series, is the Heat against the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Celtics are possibly the best team in the NBA right now, so wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what ends up coming down to, and I think it'd be super fun too. I think, either way, I love the Bucks. I love seeing Giannis out there, so either way, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and I think just how the defensive schemes they would have for the Celtics. I think we know pretty much how they're gonna go for the Bucks because we've seen it how many years before. But I think the Celtics would be really interesting. Even the Suns, if it was a Heat and Suns finals, I think that would be crazy. I would love to see that. Devin Booker go against this defense. The Celtics are the best defense in the league, but the Heat I think they're just the scariest. They have so many on-ball defenders. Their team defense is great. I think they would have been the best defense in the league if not for all the injuries. So Trae Young looked like he was in hell. He looked so sad when he was facing them. There was that one possession where he went from PJ to Jimmy to Bam. He just looked so fed up. He
Yeah.
got all the switches. He's like, there's no winning here.
Yeah, he had a terrible series. Pretty rare to see from Trey. Usually, you would expect him to get something going in at least one of the games, get some
One or
buckets.
two of the
But
games he did.
I mean, he really just had a terrible series overall.
Yeah, and I don't blame him too much. I mean, he did have a good series, and I know after this series, Trae Young is the type of player he's going to be watching this playoff series over and over again throughout the summer, and he will get better from it. However, like, it just shows, I think it showed so much how scary this defense is. They're going to be incredible. They attack everything. They can switch everything. It's just, there's no safe place. I mean, even when Tyler Harrell's on the floor, even if you get by him, you get Bam, you get PJ. Their help defense incredible. Everyone knows the next rotation. They can pick up the next man. Just a very smart team. Spoelstra has shown.
Yeah. Yeah, they exposed the Hawks. They exposed Trey. Trey's been exposed as a bad teammate, actually, because the last huddle in that last game, the Hawks were down by 4. They were drawing up like the last shot, actually drawing up a shot for Trae Young. And he sat out of the huddle. He just looked on away like he was sad, disappointed in his 4 of 20 performance. But I don't know, maybe be a good teammate next time, Trey. That's some bitch shit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, a lot of times, sometimes the point guard has to hear is the play because they know that much. But I'm not gonna assume too much.
He was
into
like
that.
completely outside of the huddle, like not even looking in. And by the time they broke the huddle, he was like 10 feet away walking towards the court. So I would say he was not paying attention.
Yeah,
And the play was a mess. So
yeah, I mean, it would have been tough, but the Heat, as it stands right now, are my favorites to go to the finals. It would have been the Bucks. We'll see. I'm not convinced because the Middleton injury. So as it stands, if Middleton does not come back this series, I will lean towards the Celtics beating the Bucks without Middleton. But then I think the Heat
he's
would
not
beat the
coming back
Celtics.
this series. They already ruled him out.
Did they already rule him out?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did
I
today.
see the Bucks against the Heat, and I see the
Yeah.
Heat beating the Celtics. I mean, the Celtics against the Heat. I see the Heat beating the Celtics,
Okay.
and then
We'll
we'll see the
see.
Sun. We'll still see the Suns and the Heat in the finals.
We'll see. I think that would be fun. The Suns and Heat would be kind of funny. It'd be the power of fire or whatever.
I'm just here to tell you guys, like and subscribe, but please do that. Also, comment below. Let us know what you guys thought about this video. If you want to roast us, roast us. If you want to compliment us, please, I need compliments.